Alright, welcome back. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear up all the project settings, put some final touches on those. Once those are done, I'm going to jump into the graphics and start playing around with the menus. I want to get all of the actions and power-ups and all that stuff kind of solidified so I can start building levels and then seeing how those actions and power-ups work within the game. So to do that, I need to go ahead and start getting the shop and the purchase buttons and all that stuff kind of in place, so then I can start testing how the actions actually happen in game. So I want to get all of the menus and everything done, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump into actually start doing level design. And I have some ideas for how I'm going to do the level designs, so we'll probably get into that in the very next video. I'm going to go through the settings here, change these to what I think the final numbers are going to be, and then I'm going to kind of stop and pause and start building menus and talk about it as I build them. So for right now though, let's see, gravity 0, 0. I want this to be 20. I found that to actually be a better number. I've been playing with these again some more. Minimum's going to be 50, maximum's still going to be 250. Keep that 0.05. I found friction of 10 to be a little bit better. Velocity drag of 3. And score, I'm still going back and forth on how I'm going to do the scoring exactly, but for now, I'm going to go 0.01, so 1%, so for every 1,000 pixels, it'll get a score of 10, and I'm probably going to change that again to what, I don't know. The back delete threshold and the side delete threshold, I'm changing these both to 100 to save memory. It's for performance issues, So back delete means anything as it goes off the screen, once it hits 100 pixels off the screen, it deletes it and frees up that memory again. Side delete threshold, same thing. So if one of these physics objects goes flying off the screen, once it hits 100 pixels, it will get destroyed. So I'm going to go with 100, and we may have to play with that later as we find things swinging off and back on. May have to bring that back up some. But that's it. These are going to be my final settings. These will be the final frame settings. I don't plan to change any of this stuff. So for now, that will be it for that. Okay, and hopefully I won't have to mess with those again. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so now we'll get into the menu design, and for that I have a bunch of graphics. I'm going to probably pause off and on throughout this so I can keep the whole thing under 15 minutes, but before this video is over I should have all the menus done. Starting with main menu. Go ahead and delete this, that was just placeholder stuff. Let's see, for adding graphics to the main menu, let me find my viewer. I have a bunch of graphics I made, and this is just going to be for the main menu. And so there's a mock-up I did, kind of threw it all together just in Fireworks that this was how I wanted it to look like. And actually, let me save it, what I came up with finally. Something to this effect. And you're going to see this, there's the two different speakers, one's on, one's off, and I'll show you how to make those work. But this is basically end result. I think I actually made these white, a little brighter white, so you'll see in a second though. But actually I can go ahead and start dragging these on, so we will get to it. And we can go into, let's see, what do we want to drag first? So we need to get a little more room in here. But let's see. So first we get the name dragged in as an image, and then we can drag in the background. That's actually the stripe. Okay, I pulled in a background for this, and for that I'm just gonna drag it and stretch it all the way out to cover the screen, and then I will right click, send to back. Then I will pull over my stripe for the background to be there. Pull that out a little bit to make sure it fits. Then we'll pull this up to be, whoops, Control Z, get that, put it on top of there. Get it about center, doesn't have to be perfect. I'll come back and align all this stuff up later. Next will be taps to start, image. I don't want to use that as the text. I could have put a label in there, but then it's going to be that you only get one font choice with BuildBox, kind of one of the complaints, but they're supposedly fixing that in version 2. duplicate that stripe. I'm going to put another one down here. And then I'm going to throw a character selector on top of that. Stretch that out all the way across the screen. That looks good. We'll take off the label visibility. We won't put an unlock button yet. Probably have to revisit that later. So that will allow our users to select characters from the character list that we added up in the main section here. Next we'll come back over here to blue controls. I started doing purple and then decided I didn't like that color, so I changed them to blue. We'll go ahead and add as a button and a button and a button and a button, button, and sound on button. Okay. Now for the sound, we're going to, I'll show you in just a sec, we're going to have to stack those, but let's see, I'll pause this while I organize them real quick. Okay, those are fairly organized, I think now, lined up well enough. So I didn't stack these two on top of each other yet because I want to go ahead and choose that this is going to be sound off. So when that button is clicked, it's going to go to this, and it's going to go to sound off. And then when this one's clicked on, it's going to turn the sound on. Makes sense? I think I got that right. And then we just stack them right on top of each other, and that's that. Everything stick to edge, and we can go ahead and see how that looks. And it pushed them all up. Let's see what happened there. Stick to edge, stick to edge. So it looks like maybe because I was previewing in iPhone 4 that the stick to edge was making them squish up significantly. So I'm going to try to do it, try to move these up to accommodate all screen resolutions and sizes, yada yada. Let's see. Okay, close enough. Let's try again. There you go. That's iPhone 5. Let's go to 4. And still looks quite acceptable. Oh yeah, not too bad. I'm gonna probably put a Facebook like up here and maybe a share up here or something, but not bad for just throwing some stuff together here. Let's see, refresh. I'm good with that. So now to actually start the game though, we have to put a button over this, and it's going to go like this. Throw this down, and I should have moved this over. Let's see, we'll put it there and drag it up, scale. One of the complaints I have about BuildBox is you can only scale from center out. There's no holding shift or alt or space bar to change it. You can do shift to do proportional, but you can't say I want it to stick on the left edge of the box and grow from there. So for instance, if I put it right here in the corner and I just want to drag it up to here, nope, you can't do that. I can shift and hold and make it proportional, but it's still going to move off of that edge. So I have to kind of guesstimate about where I want it, somewhere in the center of the page, and then pull it up and hope that I get it right. You can go this way, but it's the same situation. It grows from the center out, and there's really no other way to do it. Just a minor annoyance, but we can work around that. So anywhere the person taps on there, it's going to start the game. Here's your other options, and let's go ahead and set up some of the other options. Speaking of that, so that is going to take us to, I believe that needs to go to game services. No ads, probably should have been added as a different button, I believe. Yeah, it should have been. So let's delete that, and we'll drag it in again. And I believe it needs to be dragged in as purchase button. And then we'll say, oh, this is another weird one. Why do they put action selection on top of type? Because if I change the type to remove ads, then this should have been first, and then if I selected action, something should show up underneath this row. Instead it shows up above it. Another just quirky thing with BuildBox. So anyway, remove ads, price is going to be $0.99, or Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided on that yet. Anyway, we'll just leave it. In-game currency, it's going to be an app purchase. And okay, leave it that way. Sure. Come back to that and figure it out. Buy and use. I believe that has to be checked for it to work. And then the store identifier, we'll worry about that later. Can't get that right now. Okay. Go to the shop page. So that'll take us to the shop page. We already did the mute and unmute, and then the info screen. This will take us to info screen. And what else? Did we miss anything? Start, share, nope, that's good for now. That's all we need. And I'm going to save it. And then we can preview it again, see how she looks. Not bad. May tinker with that some more later, but I wanted to just get the whole process on here. iPhone 5 looks fine, and iPad 2 looks... I could probably push that tap to start up a little bit. So to do that, we have to move this out of the way. Oops, Control Z. Push this up just a little bit, and that should be acceptable. See, then the problem is with this. Let's restart. Tap to start. So even on an iPad, it's still acceptable. Restart. You can see the number range changed significantly because we changed that to a decimal for the value. The friction and everything still looks pretty good. Alright, I like that. Sweet. And even I'm clicking here to see, making sure I don't hit that button to start the game until I get up to tap to start. And off of there. Sweet. Okay, I like that. Alright, tell you what, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go ahead and create the rest of the menus and stuff, and then I'll come back and we'll go over it for a minute or two. I'll talk about anything significant, and I may unpause it if I need to explain something. Okay, so here's something real quick I wanted to show. I've been working on the shop page right now, and I got the kind of the start of the layout done, and I added in my first object that's going to be for purchase, and that's going to be for 99 cents. So that'll be the first one. Change that. And let me get this moved out of the way. Get some of this going, and then I'll drag in the 2500. Add that in as, so what I was adding it in as was a purchase button. And when that gets added in, this is what I wanted to show. So when you choose your action selection, what it's going to be, you have to pick which action that you've added in to the main play area that this is going to purchase. So I'm going to select 2500, and what that's referencing is back here in my action section, I just added in this object. I just dragged the same image in, added it into here, and I haven't changed anything yet, but what I'm going to have to do now is come down here and say reward coins is going to be worth 1,000 coins. Take off show, I don't think it matters. And we'll leave it at that. Now if I wanted to, I could drag that and put it on the play area, and anytime the player hit this coin, they would get 2,500 points. But I'm never going to add that to it. This is simply so that I can make it work with the coin shop, or with my shop here, and I can make it worth the 2,500, and that's what you're going to get out of it. So you're going to get the action 2,500, and that should be it. And then I'm going to make it an in-app purchase, which will get a store identifier, and that's going to be associated to a $1.99 purchase. And this is just an image. Should probably make these buttons too. And then when they click on it, whether they click on this or the 99 cents, they get, either way they're going to get taken. Yeah, I'll leave it like this for now. And then $2.99. So this will be my entire monetization strategy, so to speak. This and ads. So anyway, I just wanted to show how that was working. Again, image. Drag that over, and I will then drop the 5,000. So again, I made a mock-up, and this was kind of my mock-up here, and now I saved all the different elements, and I actually saved that as yellow. I just haven't saved it. Save it in Fireworks. It should update here, so I actually made that text yellow. Then I just dragged each element out of Fireworks into, so here I'll pull Fireworks over, I pulled each one of these elements. I Control C for copy, Control N for a new page, hit enter, and then Control V for paste, and then Control S to save that, and then I just save it as, you know, 1000 PNG or whatever. So that was how I did all that. It's pretty straightforward with the laying it out and then saving each of the elements. So that's it for now. We'll get back to work here. Okay, I'm back, and I have gotten a lot accomplished in a short period of time, relatively speaking, I guess. So the interfaces are mostly done. I think they're all done. Got the layouts the way I want them. I've tried them through all the different templates up here. They all look pretty good. Went back and forth through, you know, sticky and not sticky, and trying to figure that out, and which way works best. So stick to edge, don't stick to edge, block touch, don't block touch. You make the whole bar a something to click on, or just the words. Going back and forth on a couple different iterations of stuff. So I'm just going to walk through this. We'll go through straight first, and then I'll cover the two bottom ones, and this is going to be real quick. I'm going to do another 15-20 minute tutorial, or video, not really a tutorial, but video, on going a little more in depth on each of these. So real quick, start, just got loading. You won't see that on the simulator over here, just because it's just so fast. There you saw loading briefly, but that was it. But these are real simple. All you can really do are add graphics, and that's it. So main menu, got basically the buttons and what you're looking at over here. So these things will do things like remove ads, get your scores, high scores, go to the shopping cart page, audio on off, which we don't really have audio, and clearly I need to fix that. That's a little bug, no big deal. I wonder why it's doing that. I'll figure it out. Anyway, info page, so you can go to the info section. But that's that. And then, of course, the character selector too, but I only have one character right now, so there will be more. Let's see, you go to the game field, you got your pause button, you got your current score, you've got the joystick touch area, so anywhere the user wants to touch the finger in there, and then I've got the power-ups down here. This was the big reason I wanted to do this, because I want to know how these are going to work, and I want to be able to work with it throughout my level design and stuff. So I really wanted to see that early on, and that was the primary reason for doing this, and I'll explain what the little red marks are and what all that stuff is in the next video. So getting through, that's playing the game. You can play through the game, you can pause, go to the pause screen, I'll get to that in a sec. And then when you win, this is the game over screen. So game over, it'll show your score, your best score. Actually, this is if you die within the game. So if you die within the game, you get your score, your best score so far. You can restart it, which takes you back to the home screen. So if you die in the game, you go back to the home screen, which is this one. So if you want to select a new character, you can. If you want to buy one of the characters with your in-game currency, you can do that as well. You can share it to wherever. So that'll pull up the interface with your phone to share Facebook, messaging, Twitter, whatever instant gratification that you want to have to show people what you've been doing there, and share the game. You can rate it, so that'll take you to the game page for the platform that they're playing on, and they can leave a review for it. I put rate, and it's actually listed as review. You click on it, it's actually listed as review in the action item list, but rate, review, you get the idea. And then shop, where they can go get the coins, and I'll show that in just a second as well. But that's the game over screen. That's if they die in game. So lastly, I'll go over the outer parameters. So first off, shop. So this is the very basic coin packs. You can get 1,000 coins for $1, 2,500 for $1.99, and 5,000 for $2.99. Not sure if I'm going to call them something else, but right now they're coins. And yeah, so this isn't text, by the way. We'll point that out here and now. These are just these are graphics that I created, and I did them in Fireworks and then just imported them. But I'll get into that next video. Pause screen, very basic. Tap to continue, menu to go back to the home main menu, restart shop, power up section. So this is where it'll show you how many coins you have, and then you can sit here and you can power up these things. I need to put probably a number below them for what each costs, but and the numbers will count down as your total coins will count down as you start clicking on these, and it'll start subtracting the coins appropriately. Coming over here, you got the info. I think I'm probably going to take this out and put it somewhere in the beginning of the first level, so it can be like, hey, this is what you can do. I kind of did that for the game slide. just on the first level, so so people know, oh, I can touch and go in all 4 directions, and that's really the most you're going to do. I mean, there's no tapping, there's no jumping, there's no any of that in this game. So restore purchases, that's one that's required by Apple specifically. They want you to have this button in there, and you can't get in their stores if you don't, so make sure you add it and choose restore purchases. Reset everything, that's going to reset everything in the game, the scores, everything they've bought, everything they purchased, any progress they've made. It basically goes back to as if they just installed the game. And this back button will take them back to the main menu. So end screen, this is if they win the game. So your final score shows what it is, encourages them to share it with a different colored button than the rest of them, and I'll show you what that looks like in the next video. And it just says congrats. I may beef this up a little, make it look a little fancier, but for now, that's all it is. So with that, that's everything. I will show gameplay in the next video and go through these a little more detail. Thanks.